Let's talk about cost management. How do we apply the processes in project cost management in a pragmatic fashion? We've got 4 of them: plan cost management, estimate costs, determine budget, and control costs. The first process, as you know, is always about planning, being intentional about how you put your budget together. So in this process, I would suggest get together with your team and ask them, how should we put together this budget? What should we do as far as putting together numbers? Most times people say, well, those who are working on the project should be responsible for putting the cost together. And that's true, but they could also use your guidance. Maybe you've got some tools, techniques, ideas, easy ways of helping them organize the information. One thing I've realized with working with project teams is that the people know exactly what to do, they know exactly what it'll cost, but putting everything together is a huge task for them. So you need to work on putting all of the information together in a way that everyone can understand, in a way that makes it very easy for management to look at and say, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's go to the next process. Next process is estimate costs. Now, the best way to estimate costs is get the person involved on the project estimating the work. Maybe you've got 10, 20 people working on the project. Get them to estimate the cost for each activity. That's really what you're doing here. Finding out the numbers for the different activities. And that takes us to our next process, determine budget. In determine budget, you're going to roll up all of that cost, all of those items. You know, really like your itemized budget. You're going to get all the items, roll them up into a total, and you're ready to roll. You've got the numbers. You've got the high number that management wants. Management, lots of times, isn't interested in how much do all the tiny little tasks take. No, they want the final number. But it has to be a number that is conclusive and solid. And the best way to do that is not by throwing out a number from the hat and throwing in a fudge factor of plus or minus 10. That's not how it works. You really want to go into the details, roll it up, and tell them what the budget is. But you also need to factor in contingency reserves. You also need to factor in any time reserves and find out the impact on the overall budget and present that to management. That's how to do it. And then the final thing you do in cost management is control costs. We take a look at our budget. We take a look at our budget over time, basically looking at the time-phased budget. And then we take that time-phased budget and we look at how much work was actually complete within that time phase. After looking at how much work was complete, we look at another dimension. How much did we actually pay for what was done within that time period? Does it all add up? For example, your budget for a particular time period could be $20 million. Your actual cost could be $10 million. But how much work did you get done? Did you actually get $10 million worth of work done, or did you get more or less? Those are the questions you ask in control costs. Now, a big technique here in the PMBOK guide is earned value management. Not very many people use earned value management, but having an earned value consciousness is priceless. So at any point through your project, ask yourself, how much did I say I would spend during this time period? How much did I actually spend? And how much work did I actually get done? Do all those 3 balance up? And I'm really talking about earned value, planned value, and actual cost. When you look at those 3 variables, do they all add up? Is your SPI 1? Is your CPI 1? And you can make a very mental, quick guess about this. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate like earned value management software and so on. It could be a very quick analysis. How much did I spend? How much did I say I would get done? Did I get that amount done? Am I behind schedule? Am I ahead of schedule? And as far as my budget goes, am I over budget or under budget? Those are the questions you ask yourself in control cost. So 4 processes: planning the cost management itself, estimating the cost, determining the budget, and controlling the cost. Next, let's talk about project time management.